name is Rain, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do corner to corner tapestry crochet. And you can basically do this to any pixel design you want. Honestly, what I do is I just Google pixel designs. K-pop, demon hunters, pixel designs. There you can basically find anything that is a grid of even pixels. Okay, so this, for example, this Rumi. This was a perfect example of a pixel grid that you can do corner to corner crochet for. Somewhere else you can go is also pixelart.com. I will link it down in the description. There you can design any pixel design you desire to make your own tapestry, blanket, whatever. Here is a design I made a couple months ago for a baby blanket, right? So what I do is you make the picture, you save it to pixel art, but you can go back and edit the drawing. So you can edit it. You're going to go up to settings in the corner, put on a grid pattern. That way you can take a screenshot of it with the visible grid lines and then use that as a pattern to follow for your tapestry, blanket, whatever you want really. We're gonna pick something simple so I can show you how to do the corner to corner tapestry. Just gonna do a simple design. Something easy so I can show you color changes. Now we're gonna take a screenshot, print screen, then I go to paint, and then I copy, paste it to paint, crop it, save it to my computer, super easy. Or if you're doing pixel art on your phone, you can just take a screenshot. For this tapestry design, you can use any hook size that you want. Me personally, I like to use a size 7 when I'm making blankets, or a size 5 if I'm doing a tapestry. The 5 makes the stitches a little tighter so the colors blend a little bit nicer, but the reason I use a 7 with the blankets is because obviously you want blankets to be larger, and it just makes it easier to make a decent sized blanket in decent time. So I have my yarn and my hook. In this case, I am using a 5mm clover, but you can use any hook size that you want. So before we get started, I'm going to show you how to do some pretty simple tricks first. You're only going to need to know how to do 3 things for this video: a slip stitch, a double crochet, and chain. That's pretty much it. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a slip stitch. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold the tail end towards you, and you're going to wrap the tail end over 2 fingers and under until you wrap it around like an X. And then something you can do is you're going to bring your hook under that first yarn and you're going to grab the second yarn and pull through like that. After you do that, you're just going to grab and do a slip stitch. And then next, I'm going to teach you how to chain. So you're going to have your tension yarn. You're going to want to hold with the tension finger, and you're going to grab, throw your yarn over and pull through, throw your yarn over and pull through, throw your yarn over and pull through. That is a chain. So now we're going to chain 3 more for a total of 6, and we're going to do a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. What you're going to do is you're going to yarn over, stick in the 4th chain from the hook, yarn over, and pull through. So you're going to have 3 loops on your hook. So you're going to, this is the first part of the double crochet. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Now you'll have 2, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. But you still have to do 2 more double crochets. So you're going to do a double crochet in the 5th chain from the hook, like that. Double crochet, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, 2 double crochet, and then you're going to do a 3rd double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that is how you do a square for corner to corner. You can even do half double crochet if you don't want to do double. We're going to put the pattern we're following in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. And what we're going to do is you're going to start on the bottom right hand corner. As you can see, it is one gray square. So this is how you're going to do start your corner to corner. You're gonna put a slip stitch on your hook and you're gonna chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 6. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4th chain from the hook, double crochet. Alright, and then you're going to do a double crochet in the 5th chain and a double crochet in the 6th chain. And when you're done, it's going to look like a square, roughly a square. This turns a little thinner, but that's what it's going to look like. So next what you're going to do is you're going to flip from right to left, or left to right if you're left-handed. And since you're going to start row 2, as you can see on the pattern down below, the next row is 2 gray squares. So basically you're going to work in rows like you would doing something from left to right, except this is diagonal, up to down, I guess. I don't know. Well, anyway, you're going to, after you turn the square, you're going to chain 6 as an increase. 6, and then you're going to repeat. You're going to put a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. Then you're going to do a double crochet in the 5th chain, and then a double crochet in the 6th chain. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space from the row below. So you flipped it, and now you're going to slip stitch into the chain space, and now your piece is going to look like this. Now you need to make the second square. So this time you're just going to chain 3 for the second square to finish off the row. So 1, 2, 3, double crochet, and one last double crochet. Each square consists of 3 double crochets and a chain 3. So now what you're going to do is you're going to flip the piece again from right to left. Now it's going to look like a backwards L. Now we're about to add a color. So when you start doing this, you have to realize what is the back side and what is the front side. Right now, with this facing like a backwards L for me, this is the back side. So when you do a color change, you want to make sure that your ends are poking through on the back side. That way they're all on the same side, which they're easy to poke through to the opposite side if you mess up. But so what you're going to do is you're going to chain 6 because you're starting a new row. You're doing an increase. You don't start doing decreases until you get to the corners and you start working towards the opposite corner. So after you chain 6, you're going to do a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. Double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. Except this time you're not going to finish the stitch. You're going to want to make sure you have 2 loops on your hook and you're about to do the final pull through for that double crochet. So now as you can see in the pattern below, the next color that we're going to add is going to be red. So you're going to grab your new color. Now you're going to make a slip stitch and add onto your hook. So now you're going to have 2 of the old color loops and 1 loop of the new color. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull that slip stitch through those 2 loops to finish the stitch. The new color on, you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space. What you're going to want to do is remember this side is my wrong side. So you're going to want to make sure that your ends and your working yarn are on the side facing you. So once you have those on the right side, what you're going to do is you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space of the previous row. And then you're going to do 3 double crochet, 1, 2, And on the third one, you're not gonna finish the stitch because you're gonna change colors again. So what I do is I just carry the yarn so you don't have a whole bunch of ends to weave in. Unless there's like a bunch of gap between the previous time I used that color, I'll just carry it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick up the working yarn for the other color. You're gonna wanna wrap around, pull through the 2 loops to finish the stitch. And then what you can do is you can like give this a little tug, and you can give that a little tug to make sure it's all nice and neat. And then you're gonna do a slip stitch into the chain 3 space of that last square. And you're gonna do 3, chain 3, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. So far it's gonna look like this. You can kind of see the pattern starting to happen. So now we're gonna start on row 4. You're gonna flip again, flip, so now you have the right side facing towards you. And you're starting a new row. This is an increase, so you're gonna chain 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3. Now in this row, you can see that we're working back down now, the pattern. It's gonna be gray, 2 reds, and a gray. So this first one we did was gray. The next one's gonna be red, so we're not gonna finish the stitch. We're gonna leave two loops on our hook, and you're gonna wanna pick up the color that you're gonna change to. So right here, we're gonna pick it up, and then we're gonna do a pull through to finish the stitch. That way the color change is clean. And then you're gonna slip stitch into that chain 3 space and chain 3, and then do 3 double crochet. You're gonna do that 2 times because we're doing 2 reds in a row. So 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and remember this last color is going to be gray, so you don't want to finish the stitch. You're going to leave 2 loops on your hook, pick up the color down here, pick up the color, and then you're going to want to loop, pull through, and finish the stitch. And then you're going to chain 3, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and you're going to finish the stitch because in this pattern the border is all gray, so you're always going to finish the stitch before continuing the next round. So now we just did row number 4. Now we're going to do row number 5. This is going to be the last row where we do an increase. So we're going to turn. As you can see in this one, it's gray, red, black, red, gray. So we'll do gray first, and it's an increase, so we're going to do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, 3. And now we're going to pick up the red, but we're going to make sure our working yarn is on the right side. And now the wrong side is facing us. So we're going to put the working yarn there, pick up the red, and do 1 square of red. So you're going to finish the stitch, make sure everything's pulled tight. You're going to go into the chain 3 space, slip stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Don't finish the stitch because you're changing to black now. So we're going to get our new color that we're adding in. We're going to do a slip stitch. You're going to add that slip stitch onto the hook and finish the stitch for the previous square. Make sure all the ends are on the right side. Once everything's on the right side, you're going to go into the chain 3 space, slip stitch, and then chain 3. Now this is going to be the only black square. So after you finish this square, you can cut the black yarn from the project, lest things get tangled up, you know? So there's that last third double crochet. Don't finish the stitch because you're changing the color again. So you're going to pick up the red, finish the stitch, make sure to pull that tight, make sure everything's nice and secure, and then you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space and do another red. So you'll chain 3 double crochet, don't finish the stitch because this is going to be, you're changing again to gray. But first what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the black. I leave longer tails. I leave at least 4 inches, but any size tail you want. The longer, the more you can weave it in, the more secure it is. But if you're just hanging this on your wall, honestly, I do not weave in the ends when I'm hanging this on my wall. They just hang free. All right, so the last one we're doing is gray, so we're going to pick up the gray, finish the stitch, pull this tight, and then slip stitch into the chain 3 space. You can even pull this tight to make sure that, you know, these aren't tight and bunching up the design. So you're going to chain 3, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. All right, so now, as you can see, we have half of the design done. So now we're gonna work on decreasing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip it. Now the right side is facing towards us. And instead of chain 6, you're gonna chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. After you chain 3, you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space for the previous row. So now, instead of making a new square, you're working off of the previous square from the last row. So now you're just going to chain 3 double crochet, all right, and now we're changing the color red. So don't finish the stitch, you're going to leave 2 loops, pick up the red right here on the wrong side, and finish, pull through. You can tighten that, and you're going to slip stitch into the next chain 3 space and then chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. So this row is gray, 2 reds, and a gray. So since we're doing red still, we're just going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space and do 1 more red square. All right, so don't finish the stitch because the last square is a gray square. So you're going to make sure you drop the yarn. You're going to pick up the gray and finish the stitch. Remember, pull that tight and then slip stitch into the next chain 3 space and do 3 double crochets. 2, oh, I messed that up. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and then you're going to slip stitch. And remember, you're going to do a decrease because now you're working on the opposite corner and starting to decrease to make that other point of the square. So you're going to flip and you're going to chain 3 to decrease. 1, 2, chain 3, and then you're going to slip stitch into that chain 3 space. All right, now the next row, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is row 7. And it's going to be gray, red, gray. So we're going to do chain 3, I apologize, chain 3, and then 3 double crochet. Don't finish because you're going to switch to red now. Make sure that you drop the yarn on the wrong side, which is now the side that's facing you. And you're going to pick up the red yarn. So finish the stitch, tighten, and then you're going to chain 3 double crochet. Don't finish that third double crochet because you're going to pick up the gray and finish the stitch. And that was the last row for the red, so you can remove the red after you finish this last square on the row. So that's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, and then slip stitch into the chain 3 space. So before we flip, I'm going to remove, and now we're just working with the gray. So we have 2 more rows, and now this one is just 2 squares. Now that we're decreasing, it goes down a square each row. So you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the chain 3 space, and you're going to chain 3 and do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Now this row is 2 grays, so you can just slip stitch into the chain 3 space and do 3 double crochet. And then you're going to chain 3. That's what it looks like. You have 1 more square left, so you're going to flip it and you're going to do a decrease. So 1, 2, 3 into that chain 3 space and slip stitch, and then you're going to do your last square. So chain 3 and then 3 double crochet, and then you're going to slip stitch, and you're going to do 1 last decrease just to even out the, so 1, 2, 3, you start in one corner and in the other corner, just like that. This yarn was a little thinner. We probably could have gone with a smaller hook, but whoop, after you do that, you can slip stitch to finish, and voila, you have yourself a corner to corner square. Now this square is just an example. You can do any pixel design anything you want, find any pixel design you want. There's already so many out there online already for you to reference to until you feel comfortable designing something yourself. Like this one I found on Google, and then I'm gonna bring up some pictures of some other things. Like we did this Elmo one recently, and I've made quite a few blankets. I have made a Jack and Sally blanket, and I've also made a mushroom blanket, and I made my first corner to corner blanket was a blanket that I made when we were meeting Matthew Lillard. I was going to gift him a blanket, and I made him a huge blanket, and it was crazy. He wasn't able to take it, but now I have a pretty cool story to tell people when they come over and use one of my handmade blankets. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how I do corner to corner. Again, you can just Google anything you want, literally any TV show, book, movie, video game, whatever. Do that, Google that with pixel, and you will find an endless amount of things for you to make. Or you can use pixelart.com to design your own pixel designs to crochet after. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope the tutorial made sense. I'm a visual learner myself, so it can be hard to explain how to do things sometimes. So hopefully the video wasn't too confusing. If anyone has any questions, leave questions down below. I'm more open to doing more tutorials because I've been crocheting for 3 years, and I think I have a lot of skill after those 3 years. I know how to do a lot, so yeah. Eventually maybe we'll do a tutorial on how to line the back of a crochet blanket. But I hope everyone has a good day, a good night, whatever time it is for you, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye!